Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? We're back with another live. Listen, keeping up with Chelsea, people. It ain't keeping up with the Kardashians no more. You know what I'm saying? We entertain people with our transfer windows. We entertain people with our ownership. We are just non-stop, aren't we? Yeah? So what better way to deal with this situation that we've got, this civil war that we've got right now, than this brilliant panel. You know what I'm saying? This panel that everyone's been loving. I've been seeing you lot in the comments. You love this panel. So I thought let me run it up again. We've got AJ. AJ is actually still working at the minute, people. So he'll be here soon. But what are you saying though? What are you saying, man? Andrew, you good? I think when the surfer's connection's gone, you know.
I think he froze.
There we go.
There you go.
What are you saying, bro? You good?
Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened then. Yeah, all good, man, all good. This club can't give me 2 weeks off, or at least a week off, or discussing something. Civil war. It's not a civil war, man. They agree on everything nearly. Do you know what I mean? It's only 2 or 3 things. You know what I mean? It's like I love the hype. You can tell it's International Week, can't you? Nothing's happening. You know what I mean? Nothing. 2 businessmen who agree on everything have just disagreed on something. That's all. You know what I mean? It's just mad. But yeah, I'm good. Don't
worry, we're gonna chop it up, man. And Couch, what you say, my boy? You good?
Yeah. International break, you know what it is. The worst time. And the thing that I don't like about this international break, it's so frequent, but why are you doing it at the beginning of the season, though? 3 games in, we have an international break. It just breaks any sort of momentum coming from the summer into like the regular, the regular games and whatnot. So, I'm just here struggling trying to get through this week, man. Struggling trying to get through this week so we can get some more football back, because all this talk that's going around this club right now, it's just nonsense to me. And I don't really study it as tough as some other guys do, but it's killing me. But, 100%. Weekend's almost here.
100%. We just had the Euros and we're having international football again. It seems crazy. It seems crazy.
Friendlies too. Friendlies. Like we got friendlies happening right now. Men's are dropping like flies, and it's a friendly.
Bro, touch wood, none of our guys right now. You know what I'm saying? Touch wood. England are playing tonight. So let's see, innit? You know what I'm saying? But apparently Madueke and Cole were starting on the bench. That's what I want to see, bruv.
Yeah.
True. You know what I mean? But Jimmy, what are you saying, bro? You good? CB
man, I'm here, bro. Now that Couch brought it up, it's really stupid how quick we went away. Like the season literally just started. Now let's take a break. Like sometimes I feel like the Prem. Sometimes I feel like it's a joke. Sometimes, we literally just took a 2-week break. Like we just got gassed up for the beginning of the season, and we took a break. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, we here. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy.
We've got another one. We've got another one in like 28 days or something like that. We've got
another international break.
Yeah.
Oh,
you got another 2. You got one in October, one in November. It's another 2.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is getting.
And there's a break till March or something. And there's a break till March. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Getting out of hand. Yeah,
it's so annoying. It's so annoying. And yeah, listen, for me, it's just jarring because it's like after that Palace result, I was looking at it and thinking, bro, I want us to just play tomorrow if we can. Yeah, because that result was so annoying. And the worst thing about international break is sitting on anything less than a W. Yeah, a draw, a loss is just not a nice feeling. You know what I'm trying to say? But we've got 33 people in the house, people. More people are flying in at the minute. Make sure that you lot are smashing up the lights as always. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Road to 10K, people. Yeah, right now we're sitting on 3.6, so we're nearly on 4K. But listen, road to 10K for this season, man. Let's see who's in here. As always, Adele, big yourself up. It's never a dull moment with Chelsea, bro. It's never a dull moment with Chelsea, man. Honestly, without us, I don't know what else they'll be talking about. They can't get enough of us. Everything about Chelsea, bro, it's instant clicks. You know what I'm trying to say? You've got K2 in here as well. We're going to touch up on this. I know you've got a question here. Jimmy got CB to cry on stream. I warned Jimmy about CB because in the last stream we did, people, it was like, oh, he was like, what up with CB, man? He couldn't believe it. I said, bro, this is CB for you, And now he's officially been on stream with him. Like, he ended up leaving. Joey ended up leaving. They couldn't deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
I had to get out of there before I
to get out of that motherfucker, man.
And lose my
I'm still waiting to see. I'm still waiting to see any tears. So you know what I mean. It just looked like dry.
You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
Big up Donna every time. Well gone, Mr. Don. Big up, man. It says well gone, Mr. Witness Surfer as well. You got Magic Matt in here. Big up, guys. You got Clinton. Big yourself up. Big up the panel. Clearlake in. Yo, we'll speak about that, bro, because I'm seeing people picking sides at the moment. But listen, let's start off with what was reported from the Athletic people. Let me just share my screen and show you guys exactly where this has sort of come from, because it's been brewing for a while. I think we can all sit here knowing, you know, that there's been problems with Eghbali and Todd Boehly. And for me, it all comes down to the fact that Todd Boehly just hasn't got that much control in terms of the recruitment anymore. You know, it's been obviously he got taken away from his duties in terms of the recruitment. When he first came in, he was running about trying to sign, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo. He was, you know, running about giving the likes of Fofana over 200k a week as if he didn't have a mad injury. He was running about acting as if Sterling was Messi, giving him 325k a week, signing Carney Chukwuemeka, you know, giving him 100k a week at 18 years old. So there was many things.
Aubameyang,
you know what I'm trying to say, signing him, you know. So there was many things that Todd Boehly did at the beginning that didn't work out, because a year later, some of those guys, you know, the likes of Aubameyang and that, Koulibaly, they got moved on. And from January 2023, I believe, after we signed Mudryk and that, we decided to change the model. That's where Todd Boehly was taken away from, you know, all the recruitment and that, and it was more just deal with the commercial side of things, help Chelsea bring in as much money as possible, right? And for me, looking at it from an outside point of view, I knew long term Todd Boehly's not gonna want that. He's not gonna want that, because you're talking about a man that's got shares in the company, and he's not gonna be able to say much. And this is one of the major problems that I had in bringing in a consortium, right? Because you've got so many chefs in the kitchen, and there's so many people that are gonna have various different opinions on stuff. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're always gonna have the guy at the top who, in our case, is Eghbali and Clearlake, who get the final say. And it seems like it's got to breaking point now. And the Athletic reported a few things, and they said here that amid the many other points of contention, there is broad agreement that three factors in particular have contributed to the fracturing of Chelsea's owners. Yeah, the first point they talk about is a fundamental cultural difference in how the Premier League club should operate, with Clearlake and Boehly each believing the other has sought to unduly influence sporting decisions. Yeah. The second point they talk about is the decision to mutually part ways with head coach Poch at the end of last season, which exposed the first public fault lines between Boehly and the club's leadership structure, right? And what's being reported is that Todd Boehly, he wanted Poch to stay on, whereas Eghbali was happy to cut ties with him, regardless of how we finished off the season. And the third point is a lack of tangible progress in the stadium project over the last 2 years, with the club not yet resolved on a revamp or rebuild of Stamford Bridge or moving to a nearby site at Earls Court. And that's another thing we'll touch up on, guys, because it doesn't seem like there's been much progress with what's going on with the stadium. But Couch, I wanted to start off with the first point that they speak about here in terms of the fundamental cultural difference in how the club should operate, with Clearlake and Boehly each believing the other and so unduly influence sporting decisions. What's your take on that first point, man?
I mean, I don't know if they're philosophically that different, to be honest. Like, I thought that first and foremost, the reason why Boehly came in and started being the sporting director is because we were caught between a rock and a hard place. We lost a lot of players. We had no directors, and he basically had to sign who he had to sign. He had to bring in those players, right? So, you know. But at the flip of that, though, too, like, granted, there wasn't really a whole lot of decisions that were made during that particular period of time that were beneficial to the club. As we've already highlighted, you say the Sterling signing, you know, Fofana for crazy money, all that stuff, right? It was just out of necessity for me. But when you're coming from a position where, on the other side, where Eghbali's like, yo, I'm managing this fund for a consortium of people that I have right now, and you've now fired the head coach, Tuchel. You brought on all this dead weight that we can't move, like these terrible players that don't really fit. We're now 10th or whatever it is, 11th, 12th. Of course, I have to come in and manage manage this project now, because clearly when you're at the helm, shit ain't going right. No, shit ain't going right for a multitude of reasons, right? So I mean, I can understand why we are in the situation we're in right now, but if I was going to say one way or the other, which way I was going to go, I'd still go with the guy that has been in sport before, more so than the guy that's managing some hedge fund, But, I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah, but isn't it a bit worrying to you, Couch, with Todd Boehly, because we saw under Roman. Look, we won a lot of trophies under Roman, but let's not act as if the club was run perfectly, right? And one big problem that I had at the time was how. Hey, CB.
Oh,
CB's
sorry,
around.
Is he around? Is he about? Is he about?
Did you prep everyone? You need
CB,
to
come through, bro. Come through.
Where's the running thing at the bottom?
Come through, CB, man. I need you, bro.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get that guy on the channel, because anytime you mention any sort of criticism for Roman, that brother will start screaming at you. He will just shout at you, yeah? But again, in terms of the wages that we're offering players, certain players, like, for example, Havertz, he was, 20 at the time, 21. We were overpaying on a lot of guys just because they come into Chelsea, bro, right? A lot of these guys were getting guaranteed money without actually working for it.
It was never based on their merit of them as a player. It was
exactly that, bro.
It was
exactly that.
You come into Chelsea, here's a big bunch of money.
Exactly that, bro. And for me, that was a major problem, because when it comes to moving them on, when it comes to motivation, when it comes to hunger, if you ain't got to work for your money, bro, you're getting over 250k a week, and you're just getting it because you play for Chelsea, bro, you ain't gonna want to work for it, bro. That's why, for me, I like the fact that they're now incentivizing these contracts, and they want to add a lot of bonuses. For me, obviously, if you want to bring in like a world-class player like a Haaland, for example, pay the money, pay whatever. I'm flexible on that part, but it has to be the right person. Yeah, it has to be the right person, Couch. So the problem, the reason why a lot of people I've been seeing from Twitter, it seems they want Todd Boehly because they feel like Todd Boehly is going to want the big names. He's going to want to overspend like Roman, because we saw, bro, he wanted Neymar, he wanted Cristiano Ronaldo.
He wants to grow. He wants to grow the asset. He wants to grow the asset, and you can only do that with like attractions. Like, what is the name? But I don't think that his whole model was built around just like getting a Neymar. That to me, you know what I mean? Like, you get that name in.
With the Dodgers, it's a mixture of both. He gets the big names.
That's what I'm saying.
He's also bigging up their farm, like what they call academy here in baseball in America. It's called the farm
clubs. Yeah,
that's one of the things that he's doing. He's building up their farm team. Like, he does both. He's not one of them people that's gonna be like, when I start seeing us do we're gonna get younger guys, this and this, I was like, yeah, you could tell this ain't Todd Boehly. Todd Boehly, like, he's going for the big.
I don't think it's just him though. Like, I don't think it's a bad approach, to be honest, because
I don't think it's a bad approach either. Like, when people like whose side are you on, I'm like,
I'm not on anyone's side, really.
No one's side. I'm just whoever wins the power struggle wins it. I'm okay with either methods, because there's more than one way to.
But I don't think. But when I say methods, I don't think that like Boehly or Eghbali are completely divided in that respect, because I think that Boehly was just as much on board of like bringing in the assets to flip them for money. Like, we don't have a stadium right now. How are we going to raise revenue for this club? How are we going to raise the profile? Like, you have to be able to do it somehow, right? So. Yeah, I get it. Like, I wanted, the Neymars and like all those guys to attract the big sponsors. We don't even have a front of shirt sponsor right now. Like, let's be real here, man. Like, this shit's a shit show right now.
I still think that's on purpose, but
I don't think it's on purpose. I don't. I think we have to. We need someone that can market that shirt. Who do we have to market that shirt right now? The idea of making this thing a global thing, where you have people in South America, you have people in Africa, you have people in Asia, like that's part of the whole branding of this club. We want to be able to sell this thing. I kid you not. If you go to like anywhere in South America right now, the two names that are most affiliated with Chelsea are Caicedo and Enzo. Like, it's not Cole Palmer, it's not Nkunku, or it's those two names. It's not Reece James. It's those two names, and that's how they're trying to do it. They're trying to like do regional like marketing and whatnot, and
that's why Osimhen blew the bag. That's why I say Osimhen, he blew the bag. He blew it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm not necessarily one way or the other right now, but I really think that like the model that is being taken on right now is two-tiered. It should be, at least, because we can't just keep recycling these 18, 19-year-olds and not go for somebody that's a little bit more of a profile name with experience of winning. Like we talk about this all the time, like, the experience thing and whatnot. And like, I think it's got to be two-tiered right now. It can't just be one approach and expect to be successful, because
exactly
right now when you, but even right now when you think about like the uprising, like whatever, proper Chels, all that foolishness, I don't really care about that. But I'm saying the problem that most people have is that they can't identify with anyone at the club right now with the amount of turnover, the amount of kids and whatnot. The names that they're most affiliated with, the ones that they're most familiar with, are the ones they're trying to push out. The Chalobahs, the Gallaghers, and all these guys. Those are the ones that the people know because they've seen them from time. Like, for lack of a better term, Ben Chilwell. So that's why people are feeling less affinity and less of a connection to the club, because they're pushing out the names that they know, and they're bringing in like Guy and like these guys. I don't know anything about these guys. You know what I mean? Like,
the issue
that's what's happening.
But the issue is very simply solved by when you start winning trophies. That's all it is. Then fans get
sure.
No. What I'm saying, the simple term is to say win trophies. It's how you get there, and then people start feel more connected with the club. Do you know what I mean, or with the players, or something like this. And like I say, when everyone's like, it was so funny. Like a month ago, these fans are now Team Boehly were calling him like an idiot. You know what I mean, online, or or still people rival fans were going, "Oh, Todd Boehly's doing this and that, and he's not been doing anything for like a year." I like we all know PYS is now fully Team Boehly, as you've seen online. He's now fully Team Boehly, but he put out, or he retweeted a couple of things that was apparently from Boehly's side. I did like one huge thing I did like was apparently Boehly wants one like person running the club, not him, but he wants like a CEO running a club and just one sporting director or a sporting director, something like that, instead of two sporting directors. He doesn't want them bumping up to him all the time at all. Whereas like Eghbali sounds like and looks like he wants to be hands on, and I just think sometimes that is too much micromanaging. If you hire sporting directors, you in turn are asking them to run the club. I never hear like Sheikh Mansour going into flying over and completing transfer dealings, or trying to like punch up the Benfica sporting director Rui Costa or something like that, or like playing financial chicken with Osimhen on the last day of the window.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, but we never heard Roman doing that. Do you know what I mean? I think he did it the first like year because he didn't hire Peter Kenyon.
Roman has other ways to strong arm people, man.
He left. I understand it, but if you've got a reputable sporting director,
family this shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
But like City leave. Sheikh Mansour leaves it to the former Barcelona people, doesn't he? That run City now. Do you know what I mean? He leaves it to them. He does his interview at the end of the season when they've won like 2 or 3 trophies. We're going to push them and do some more, but he leaves it to the guys in charge. And sometimes I just don't. 2 sporting directors is just mad. Do you know what I mean? It should just be one. Do you know what I mean? It should be one guy running it. I don't know, like a guy like Paul Mitchell. I'm not saying get Paul Mitchell. Obviously, he's at Newcastle now, but someone in a frame like a Paul Mitchell, like a Dan Ashworth, that we know, like the guy at Liverpool who went back, who's now the CEO and something like that. We just need one person, which I like. Everyone has to remember, Boehly and Eghbali have signed off nearly everything together. They've agreed nearly everything that's happened. All these deals that have gone through, all this change in philosophy has to be signed. I've read it has to be signed off. People can veto.
It doesn't have to be signed, and somebody's still going to be unhappy most of the time when you're dealing with.
He can veto it though, can't he? He can veto it. I mean, everyone's going like, we didn't want Poch to go. Well, we never heard him really fight for Poch. Do you know what I mean? What's coming out now?
Can you fight it? Because at the end of the day, something has to get done.
Well, someone's giving you like an 18-page.
He's not the majority holder, so his say is not holding as much weight as Eghbali. It's just
right, and that's the problem. Probably Clearlake. That's the problem. Clearlake probably going, why has this guy got so much like voting power when he's only owns 13% of the club? And we own nearly 2/3.
Yeah, they realize.
Even that though, he manages.
Roman was not a bad owner. Stop saying that in the chat.
Eghbali manages the fund for a multitude of people. Like he basically, so like it's not like he is the majority. He's managing the majority amount of money, but there's a multitude of people that actually own that 61%. You know what I mean? And the problem that I have with that is when you think about somebody else's own money, like who put their money in. Boehly actually has the most stake in terms of his own money at 13% or whatever his investment was. Like it's not like, because you have to remember that 61% is broken off into, you know, a pension fund here and then this one here and then this one here, and they're basically just saying, listen, you put this money in here, we'll invest it for you, and we'll maximize your return, right? And even in that, it's actually very dangerous too. We saw it with Barcelona, you know, like Barcelona had this one sort of like, what's his name, the guy that was pulling all the levers and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know? The levers, man.
He's pulling these levers. It's not even his money. Like he's just like, yeah, I'm just trying to keep myself in a job. Just pull this lever, pull this lever, pull this lever, right?
He won them a league, though.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see where it goes from there. But
won the league.
So what's the biggest concern that, because obviously, Couch, with you said you're alluding more towards Boehly because he comes from a sports background, which I agree with, bro. Like for me, you know, when I was seeing the likes of the Ricketts family, remember those racist twats that we were linked to? There was protests.
Proper Chels.
Proper Chels, bruv. You had the guy from London that has all the property.
Yeah, all the property but no money. Yeah.
Yeah. You had him. You had obviously a man like Jimmy Ineos. You had him. He tried to come in. You had the Saudis. They tried to come in as well. So when I was looking at Todd Boehly, seeing the background he comes from, I was like, yo, this is a guy that I definitely want at the club because I can see the ambition, and you can see that he's gonna want to spend. What is it that concerns you about Clearlake, Couch? Because it sounds like you've got your concerns about Clearlake, but which is fair enough. What is it about them that concerns you, bro?
It's like there's not one figurehead there. Like these guys are investment. They're looking for the investment, right? So for them, they're looking at it from perspective like we're trying to like maximize what we put into this thing. So it comes down to this. If somebody, and I think Bobby's actually alluding to it in the chat there, if somebody comes to Clearlake and says, listen, you know, I have $3-4 billion that I can just do right now and give you right now, and you just buy out your shares. They're taking that. They don't have any real personal connection to this club outside of just like the idea of growing their fund. You know what I mean? Whereas with Boehly, and I mean, I'm not going to swear for anyone I don't know, to be honest, but like he might be on the same tip, but I know that he's invested his own dollars. He's invested his own money, or at least his own capital into the club.
My thing is this with Boehly.
So hold on. Before you come in, Jimmy, are you saying that because Boehly's put in his own money, he cares more than Clearlake, bro? Is that what you're saying?
I think that he has more vested interest in the club in itself. Whereas with Clearlake, they're looking for maximizing the capital, right? Like it may not be, and again, you can probably make the argument that means, you know, we have to be successful because
exactly,
truly, like the only way they're going to grow upon the capital is if the team is successful. But the method to that.
I'm glad that you said that. Yeah. I'm glad that you said that because a lot of people, obviously, they look at Clearlake. They're just an investment company. They're all about profit. They're all about flipping. Bro, the guy that was speaking about flipping with like at the beginning, it was Todd Boehly, bro. He came in and literally sat there, right? When he was first brought in by Chelsea or whatever, he literally sat there and said, we're going to be buying the best talents globally and we're going to be flipping some of them. And the best of the best will make it into the first team, right? So he spoke about that because he said at the time, there were so many avenues that Roman didn't really tap into to make more money. And now, listen, CB, that's not slander on Roman, yeah? Because Roman used to put in money himself. But they realized that there was a lot of areas, such as the multi-club model, you know, such as, you know, buying all these players young and flipping them before they become, for example, Caicedo. Caicedo was worth 3 million. Man United could have got this guy for 3 million. We ended up paying 115 million. So Chelsea are trying to buy these players before they get to that level and then flip some of them. And the best of the best will make it into the first team. So for me, how I kind of look at it, bro, if, for example, an offer came in for Palmer, a lot of people keep saying, oh, they're just going to take it because they're all about profit and that. No, bro. There's context to this, yeah? For me, how I kind of look at a situation like that, Palmer is a massive asset for these guys. He's on a long-term contract. And like you've said, Couch, the only way...
Generational player.
Exactly. The only way they're going to make
money... Generational player.
Yeah. The only way they're going to make more money is by keeping the likes of Cole Palmer because he's going to help us to win trophies in the future, right? We've already seen
attract other players.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, commercially, he's going to bring in more people watching Chelsea, and he's gonna do things for us commercially and on the pitch. And we've already seen, bro, when with the likes of Levi Colwill, when Bayern Munich was sweeping around, they said he's not for sale, he's untouchable. When it was Carney, they said we'll listen for the right offer. If anyone wants to come in for Cole Palmer, I know these guys are investment companies in that, yeah. They will just they just won't. It doesn't make any financial sense to accept that because the loss is too much, bro. The only way they would accept something like that is if someone came in and offered like 160 million or something crazy, right? There's certain assets that these guys have that are untouchable. And it's going to be the same thing for them as well, for their businesses. There's so many assets that they have away from football that are just untouchable, bro. They just keep them there to keep generating money. You know what I'm saying?
But the issue is, the thing about... Oh, sorry. The thing about...
No, go ahead.
I got a couple of issues. I got a couple of issues with Boehly in terms of... if he's going to buy out Clearlake, he's still not going to buy it out with his money. He's still going to have backers.
Nobody can do that. Issue is no actual self-professed billionaire can buy a club right now unless you got like
No, that's what I mean. No. But what I'm saying is, does he then in 2 years, 3 years time find himself in the same position as he is right now? And second of all, I think
just to that point, though, Andrew. Just to that point, I think that the model that he needs to adopt, if he goes that route of like go and find new investors he's just got to be the guy that's managing the actual football side.
Yeah, he's got to sign something that makes sense.
If he goes and finds investors, those investors would be knowing I'm running the show. You're just giving me money.
Exactly. And my thing is, I fear he might listen to this fan base more than what he should do.
Yep.
In terms of,
I agree so too. He's one of the people who watches online activity.
Yeah. I like Boehly, but he reminds me of Homer Simpson a bit. I swear.
Yeah, but a big thing for me was that whether it's true or not, we don't know if it's true or not. But the thing coming out has said he wanted to keep Poch. There's a big red flag to me right away. He wanted to keep him. If it is him, I don't want him because I have fear if Boehly was in charge, he would have kept Gallagher and Mount and Havertz and all this going on. But that's just an opinion based. If back to what I said, if he buys out Clearlake, he needs to make sure that he's set up where this doesn't happen to him again. And he's got to make sure something's signed that he's in charge, what he goes. But then he's got to pick people to run the club. He cannot be what he did in 2022. He should pick someone to run the sporting side, the transfer side, and then he needs to worry about the brand. He needs to worry about the brand. Like a couple of days ago, there was a report that he was watching, he was in America and he's watching these Real Madrid camps, these training camps with the local kids or something like that. And he wants to do something like that for Chelsea, just all across the world and something like that. That's what he should be doing. Do you know what I mean? He should be doing stuff like that, like he has them. But I don't know. It's like it's a flip of a coin because there's pros and cons to each side at this point. You cannot be Team Boehly and fully Team Clearlake if you're a Chelsea fan. If you are fully either side, if you have 100% trust in either side, then there's something wrong with you, I think. Do you know what I mean? I just think there's you cannot be blind. You cannot
being biased,
You can't blindly go one side because they both. When I say both made mistakes, no, this is a joint mistakes that they've made. They both own all these mistakes that have happened at this club. You cannot separate either or. But I don't know. They said they wanted to do this by November. I read. I just don't think it's going to get done by the end of November. Surely, it can't be that. It can't be that quick.
You see, my thing is. A lot of the fan base, it's a common thing. It's a very trendy thing to say, "Oh, I don't feel connected with the club." Right? That's a very common thing. Yeah. Which one of these owners would start to make the Chelsea fans feel connected with the club?
I mean, they're picking Boehly because obviously he wears
definitely
Boehly.
Definitely, based on what?
Well, just perception. That's where this. Just perception, the way that the club, you could just kind of.
I think the perception is based on what we're getting out of the media, though. I don't know. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
Because he wore a T-shirt that says, "I can't believe I'm not Chels" or something like that. That's what
does Eghbali acknowledge the fan base? Does Eghbali acknowledge the fan base? Does he? He doesn't do those things. The intangible things. And then on top of that, Boehly in that first window, even though maybe it wasn't the best strategy, but he did go for those players that could try to elevate us, right? Instead of just going for the investment approach where it's a steady growth. You understand?
You know what I ask myself every day, especially since the story broke, is what would have happened if one of two things happened. If Czech and Marina stayed on and just kind of like oversaw the direction of the club.
He wanted them to.
No, I know.
Wanted them to.
If that would have happened, or if he would have just said, you know what, I'm not handling this like sporting director thing. I'm gonna bring somebody in that can do it. And whether it would have been, I know there was a timeline where it couldn't have worked, like Vivell or one of those guys. But things would have been. You know, I mean, if
it was hard. It was hard. I think because he was like, it was such a hard. If you remember the time, it was like he had to get the club. We were already behind in like the summer plans. It was like he wanted Czech and Marina as a transition. Whether they would have stayed on long term, I don't know. Probably not because they're loyal to Roman. But he wanted them to stay on. But then they quit. Then they quit on him. Then they quit on him. And so he has to go in. He has to literally go in it alone. It's like a fish out of water, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? There's no point. He thought they were going to stay for at least for over the summer, and then they go look for a sporting directors after that. But
that was a logical play for them.
Exactly. Because they were behind in the summer plans. They were behind in the transfer window, behind everyone else. Everyone had like months to prepare. They sold their club in May. Other clubs were already recruiting and starting starting scouting and stuff like that. It was a whole thing. So it was a mess. Now in hindsight, everything's 100% accurate. Do you know what I mean? You can see it. But at the time, everyone was still gassed about that window at the time.
I still feel like that window is what's led to what's happened now. Like I really feel like
because they went a complete 180 in their philosophy. Yeah. They went a complete 180, and they couldn't. Those contracts, the big contracts, were not part of the incentivized thing like they are now. So they had to keep paying and they didn't go down when we didn't go in Europe. So Sterling was always going to get paid 325 because he didn't have that clause in his contract that the wages go down if you're not in the Champions League.
But at the time, did you guys feel like Sterling was a bad signing?
No,
nobody felt
like this.
I didn't think it was a bad signing.
Like this? What did you say, Don?
No, I didn't think it was a bad signing. I was just looking at it and saying, bro, we need to make sure we're bringing a striker for him, bro.
That's what it was. It was like we can't just get Sterling. Somebody else has to come in, and that's where we messed up. You understand? Yeah. But in terms of the signings, it wasn't too bad. Was that the Eghbali time?
Yeah, Eghbali, Cucurella, Sterling.
Eghbali was the guy at the time. You understand? We didn't know he was gonna falter like how he did, but like. We can't put this on Boehly. There's a lot of underperformances that we can't just put on Boehly. You understand? So
of course, this is the thing, bro. And Jimmy, just to go back a little bit.
Come back central, Jimmy. Come back central, bro.
I'm seeing CB and Bobby just going back and forth like Tom and Jerry right now, bro. But CFC, big yourself up. CFC Ratmar right now. It says these guys believe 20-year-olds can win trophies, and this is what I keep seeing from people, right, Jimmy? Do you think that, because it kind of sounds, when people say things like this, to me, it kind of sounds like they're not ambitious, bro. Do you think, in your opinion, Jimmy, that Clearlake aren't ambitious, bro?
If Gallagher buries that chance against Liverpool, does that hold any weight? Because then young people would have won a trophy, right?
True.
Young people would have won a trophy. So this idea like that, that's why I tell people.
But he didn't bury it though, and he's young.
But my point being, those same young people y'all complaining about almost won a fucking trophy. What y'all saying they can't do?
I'm not counting Gallagher.
And what stopped them from doing it had nothing to do with their age. It was that dumbass manager who felt like he was going to play for fucking penalties.
Composure, man. He didn't compose himself in those situations.
No, I'm talking about the mentality of the manager leaks down on the players.
For sure.
His mentality was,
For sure.
we're going to play for extra time. We're going to play for pins. So what do you think the players are going to do?
Right. And also when they talk about
go, we're going for the win. Go. The players is I'm going for the win.
Bro, he literally going into extra time, yeah. This was really frustrating because I was at that game, yeah. And when you're in the stadium, you know, you can just feel your team's momentum, you can feel the crowd, you can feel the energy because you're there, right? And we had these guys on ropes, yeah. We had these guys on ropes, and like I said, the players don't get off scot-free because I can see Freddie in here. Big up Freddie every single time. He said blaming Poch for missed chances. People need to stop doing this, bro.
But wait, Don. You see, people like this, they're remedial. I don't even respond to them. You know why? What's the first thing that I said? We would have won if who would have made their chance.
Yeah, exactly.
How is that blaming Poch?
Exactly.
That's clearly blaming a player, right? So
but that game,
people like
that game, we went into extra time, right? And we were the better team just before extra time. And Klopp, you could see Klopp was just looking around and saying, you know what, you lot just go do what you need to go do. We had a manager that told guys to sit back, right? And I'm saying this to say this, right? We are not that so far in the mud where we're not even competing for trophies right now, bro. Yeah?
No.
We finished sixth last season. We finished sixth last season with an injury crisis every single week. And we still managed to get to a semi-final. And we still managed to get to a fucking final. And just fine margins, a set piece, right? Yep. Set piece that was our theme all season. Missed chances were our theme all season. Was the difference between us and losing, and a good manager. The difference between us and losing, right? When people say things like this, it makes it sound like we're so far away and we haven't challenged for anything in so long. Yeah. I know in the league, yes, we've been far off of it. We finished 12th, we finished 6th. That's unacceptable, right? But last season, bro, I can't lie. As shit as we were, we nearly won 2 trophies, bro.
Well, let's put it in the context though, because the running was quite easy though too, right? Like
no, but you only play what's in front of you though. Because if we lost
those teams beat us earlier in the season too.
Yeah, exactly, Coach. We lost to Middlesbrough.
I'm just putting it out there. I disagree with
that. I disagree with that. You get to a final, Because when you lose to one of them lower league teams, you beat the shit out of your team.
No doubt. But I'm just saying
it's the same way.
Because
it's the same. You beat who's in front of you.
You can certainly make an argument, but I'm just saying it could be.
Couch. We would all want that. We would all want those ties, though, right? We're not complaining about them. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm saying. But back to this comment here, right? This is what frustrates me about our fan base, right? If we'd signed Elise, and it wouldn't happen, but say we signed Elise and Lamine Yamal, no one's mentioning their age whatsoever. Like they're 21 and 17. No one's mentioned it whatsoever, right? It's only because if you don't know the player and you don't rate them, that's when you mention the age. No one mentioned Cole Palmer's age at all last season when he came in. Do you know what I mean? At the start when we signed it was like, are you sure? Everyone, if you are a Chelsea fan and you didn't say when we signed Cole Palmer, are you sure? Or had question marks, then I don't believe you. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe anyone thought.
I was persuading you lot, bro. I was persuading you lot about.
No, but I don't think you thought he would do this. Do you know? You didn't think he would do that.
Not to this level, but I knew he would.
I never expected this.
But this is the point. This is the point. I don't mind us buying young players if they're quality. Do you know what I mean? If they're quality and good to go. Now we seem to. Esteval's got a good big reputation he's building, and Kendry Pies, but I don't know if they're good to go. But we shouldn't just. This whole thing is like, what did he say about 20-year-olds to try and win trophies? No, it's just what's happening. All rival clubs laugh at us by recruitment of being young players. Have they taken a look at some of their signings this year? Have you taken a look at Manchester? Have you taken a look at Man City's bulk of signings over the past 12 months? Yep. They're mostly teenagers.
Yep.
They are mostly teenagers. Manchester United have signed 3 or 4 teenagers. Liverpool have signed 3 or 4 teenagers.
You brought that up to Saeed that time when we was on the channel. Yeah. We said, "Look, you guys are looking to do the same stuff now."
I bring it up all the time in the chat, in the Never a Foul chat. I said, me and Chels, I be like, "Wow, this looks very Chelsea-like. This looks very Chelsea-like. They're all signing teenagers."
Let's break it down. Let's break it down to make it clear, to people. Yeah. So let's go through Man United. Man United signed Chido. Man United signed Hoyland. Man United signed Xerxes. Yeah. Man United signed Euro. All young players, yeah. Tottenham, they signed Odegaard. They signed what's his name? They signed Brennan Johnson and Archie Gray. Yeah, Man City, they brought in Savinho, they brought in Doku, right? They bring a lot of young players, bro. And even with now, no one can look at our team and say Chelsea haven't got experience in the team. We might not have winners.
Euro for United also.
That's what I said. Couch, this is what I'm saying. We might not have winners in the team, like winners all over the place. That I agree with. That you're right when you say that. But bro, Jadon Sancho has over 100 appearances for his clubs, bro. He's experienced. Yeah. Neto is experienced. Tosin is experienced. And me and Couch were going back and forth about what is experience to me, to you. To me, experience, someone's experience is a seasoned pro. And I look at anyone that's got over 100 appearances as a seasoned pro. Yeah. We've got a few of them in the team, bro. A lot of them in the team, in fact. Felix.
That's a lot of games, Couch. 100 games is a lot.
I'm not saying it's not a lot of games, but I'm just saying this though. When you compare what other teams have in their side, like I mean, it could all like
the top team.
You're gonna expect, yeah, like a City or an Arsenal. Yeah. Like we're not competing with them for experience, right? No. Liverpool.
Yeah, but Arsenal ain't really got many winners in there though. The winners came from other clubs.
No. I'm not even talking about winning. I'm talking about like experienced winners or experienced players. Like 27, 28 have been through everything. You know what I mean? We don't have any players of that sort. We have like the, just at the beginning of their just early veterans, if you know what I mean. Like, about like 5-6 years deep, just starting their career, just starting to kick on now. But like other teams have guys that are like into their 28, 29, 30, have already been playing professionally 10 years and more, have seen everything in the game. That's the kind of experience that you need to win as far as I'm concerned. But, I could
be. I get what you're saying, but then that's where you go back
Boehly, man.
Yeah, that's where you got to go back to the model, because how Eghbali and Clearlake would be looking at that, right? They'll be looking at that as a depreciating asset. Because if you bring in someone who's 28, for example, like you're saying, bro, within 2 years, you might have to replace that person. And when you have to replace that person, the money that you're getting for that person is not going to be the same. But in the same breath, if you bring them in and they're a little bit more experienced, you might win more. But for me, bro, you can still win with a youngish team, bro. As long as you've got experienced heads around there, bro. Like I said, last season, we basically had our B team and our C team majority of the time, and we still managed to get there. Yeah. If we had in Cuckoo, for example, that had those chances that fell to Jackson in the semi-final against Man City, we beat them. Because Man City, that game, it's like they were drunk. Again, I was even at that game. Liverpool, we have someone like in Cuckoo finishing those chances. We beat Liverpool in the final. It was literally the finest margins, bro. We could have been sitting here this season with 2 trophies. Do you know how mad that is? We could have been sitting here with 2 trophies.
You know what I think? We missed a trick, and I'll tell you when it happened too. Because yes, I don't have no problem with bringing in younger players and growing their career over a 10, 12 year span, just seeing them evolve and whatnot. We missed a trick by not keeping the likes of a Rudiger around. I mean, I know he was a free agent and whatnot, but that was the point where we had to at least have somebody in there of that level of experience to usher in that next generation of players, right? Yep. And we just didn't have anybody at the club that was able to do that correctly. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be Raheem Sterling. We all know how that went.
Rudiger leaving, that was Maria and them. That wasn't this.
Oh, no doubt. But like, again, regardless, I'm talking about the longevity of the club, like how the club would have been able to kick on and move forward. Like even with this plan that we're trying to execute right now, like had we have been able to keep those two, like a Rudiger, just.
Well, I don't think we were going to keep Christensen, but Rudiger would have stayed. He just wanted the 2, whatever.
Yeah, he wanted
to leave. But Rudiger would have stayed. He said he wanted to stay. He just wanted the money.
It's every position, though. It's the Rudigers, it's the Contes, Jorginho types. Like, you always got to keep at least one of them. That's window you sold both Conte and Jorginho. To me, you got to keep one of them.
I was with keeping Conte. The whole panel that I was on Lewis channel, they all was like, no, Conte.
Yeah, a lot of people, even in our group.
Conte, I said, I don't care. Keep Conte. I'll reach out, go back and find them strings if I had to. I was like the only person on the panel. Everybody said, no, he's injury. I said, no, keep him.
No transition in this team.
I said that. I said keep Conte. Jorginho, no. Bye. He can go. I was tired of him. But I said keep Conte. Let him heal. He don't have to play a lot of games. Keep him. I said that shit. People was like, nope, let him. When he went to Saudi, people celebrated. Oh, it's good for him. I said, this sucks.
Conte for 20 games, 25 games is amazing.
That's what I said. I said, if we have him for 15,
that's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. He doesn't play 20, 25 games.
Yeah, I said if we have him for 15 games, he's worth it because what he's going to bring to the team is going to be worth it. His work ethic, the way he plays, how he's a professional, young people can look at that and be like, God damn.
But remember, he had that operation, the hamstring thing that was out for 7 months.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was a combination of overplaying him or just he's just done, his body's just done in this league. But he got injured like two or three games later.
That always happens when players come back from hamstring.
No, but I just
he would have died with Poch. He would have died with Poch, bro. Kante
would have killed him. Honestly, he would have had his legs replaced.
We agree with. Yeah, that means pause.
And look, that's what I'm saying. You've still got people. That's what I'm saying. You've still got people saying this. This is what I get all the time. Stop trying to justify it. Chelsea signed a bunch of unknown kids and there's zero experience in the squad. At least 4 to 5 years process. Other teams are both experienced and kids. That's the difference. Oh, okay. Let me name all the guys. Let me just reply back to this guy. So then Sancho's unknown. Then he's an unknown kid with zero experience. Then Felix is unknown. Yeah. We've got many guys. Dewsbury Hall is unknown. Yeah. But the unknown players you're referring to are players, like I've said from the beginning. There's been clarity from the beginning that a lot of these guys we won't know them and they will never play for Chelsea, bro, because they'll be flipped. Yeah. That's just what the model is. But what for me, like I've said, if you're gonna do that, make sure that you're still investing for the first team. Yeah. We still have experience in this team, bro. The likes of Cucurella. Yeah. Ben Chilwell's still about. He still talks to these. Experience.
Come on now.
I'm not okay.
No. Don't even use that name. No.
Let me lie. I'm not. Okay. Let me finish.
Rescind that.
Okay. Let me rescind it. What I'm saying is. No. What I'm saying. Yeah, is Ben Chilwell. I don't want to see him anywhere near the pitch. Yeah. Same thing as even Marcus Bettinelli, bro. He's a big leader in the changing room. You know, from what I see, from what people say about him, and he's third choice. So what I'm saying is, there's still people around. Even Reece James.
There's always people who lead from the bench. Always. Always. Leaders on the bench. They never play, and they are bona fide leaders. Yeah.
Yeah. There's still experience in and around the team. Right now. There's still experience. The main thing that we're missing right now is a bunch of winners. If you look at Man City, they've got winners from before they came to Man City, and now they've got winners actually at the club. That's what we need to start to build. We need to start building our own set of winners, right? We need to start building our own set of winners. This year, we need to fucking win the Conference League, bro. Yeah, I want us back at Wembley for the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, bro. Yeah, I'm tired of going to Wembley and losing. I went there twice. Yeah, twice. I even run into Reece James and I'm talking to these guys before the game against Man City. Yeah, you man, good luck on that, right? And we fucking lost both games. We need to make sure that we win something this year, bro. Please. Bro.
We have to win, bro.
I'm starving, AJ. I'm starving.
Conference League, to me, Conference League, it's a guarantee. It has to happen. You understand? We can't be in this competition and not win that.
Did you see the thing when they ran the computer generated thing to see who win the Conference League? They did that shit like 1,000 times every time Chelsea won.
It has to. There's no excuse.
Every scenario they punched in, Chelsea won.
The only way it happens is if we don't perform, and that's the problem. That's the one problem that I have with Chelsea is, you know, back in the day, we had those experienced players, so you know that you're gonna get a performance.
I think y'all need to stop saying those experienced players. We didn't have experienced players.
Bro,
we had all-time players. Those guys wasn't just experienced.
I agree.
They were all-time. No, but wait.
Ballers,
this was the point I wanted to make. We keep throwing this word experienced around. Everybody outside of Man City got experienced players, and none of them don't win. Only Man City's winning. Man United picked up a trophy. Liverpool picked up a trophy with kids. Two different people, 2 different styles, won trophies. Well, 3. 3 trophies was given out in the Prem last year. Carabao, FA, and the Prem. And 3 different types of teams won. Liverpool kids won a trophy. Man City, bum-ass team, won a trophy against the league champions with all the experience, all the winners, and the best coach in the world. So y'all stop saying you have to have this or you have to have that. It takes a combination of it all.
Everything.
What you first need is a manager who's capable. And Poch isn't. He never won anything in this fucking league. So stop acting like he was a plus to us.
So
He's
how do
not.
so when are we gonna win then? Because we don't have that manager now either.
It has to be this year, bro. Conference league.
What do you mean? What are we gonna? I don't expect us to win anything this year, but the conference league.
Okay.
To me,
we're gonna win conference. I don't expect us to win the trophy.
I'm putting us in Carabao and Conference League. We always have a chance with that.
Huh?
Always.
We could win the conference, but I don't expect. If we don't, I'm not gonna lose my mind.
It, bro. Fuck
You know what, Coach? The only year,
bro, we gotta win that. If we fucking Man City, then what?
You know what? You know what? The Conference League? Nah,
in the Carabao.
Oh, yeah, Carabao.
Yeah, Jimmy. You know what it is? Recent years, the only time really where we got knocked out quite early, yeah, was when we finished 12th and we fucking drew Man City twice, bro. We drew them in the FA Cup and we drew them in the Carabao and we lost in the first round both times. That was the only time. Even though we've been in the mud, even with Roman when we weren't competing, there's something about Chelsea. We're just a cup team. That's what we are. We're a cup team.
Yeah.
I'll be real. We have a lot of players to deal with so many different situations, yeah? Look at Arsenal right now, yeah? They've got no Odegaard. For example, look, we know Palmer is our best player, yeah? But if Palmer, for example, has to get rested or he gets injured, at least we know we've still got some creativity in reserve. You've got Dewsbury you can play. You've got the likes of Felix you can play. In Cuckoo you can play. So we've got options to deal with these situations, bro. When it comes to the cup games, we have more than enough to be at least getting to Wembley. Right? Obviously, you got to look at the draw. If we get a Man City, things will change. If we get a Liverpool again, it's peak at it. Yeah.
Bro, not only do we have,
I would fancy to beat any of those teams.
Not only do we have enough for each game, we have enough to change the games that we are in. That's my thing. You understand? And it's very important for Maresca, which is why I've been going hard on Maresca over these past two results, because those are games that we should have been winning. You understand? Like, we have the team, but he did, to me, the Servette game and the who we played just now, Palace game, we should have won both of those games. You have the tools to beat those teams and to change the game in the second half, and we did not do that. And that is where we will fall short if we keep doing that.
Exactly. The in-game management in that second half was poor. It was poor. You know, but at the same time, I've got to look at the bigger picture. It's game week 4. He's still learning. The players are still learning. If I'm still seeing the same problems consistently towards the end of the season, then I'll be a lot harsher. Yeah, now I still criticize Maresca. I still criticize the players for being bums in front of goal when we played Palace. But at the end of the day, I'm seeing massive improvements. For example, Levi Cole and Fofana, they are improving right now, people. These two. You know what I'm trying to say? They are improving, bro. You know? And the RC says it here as well. Yeah, KDH is a great option as creative backup to Palmer. He's a championship level player and shouldn't even be at your club. Bro, Dewsbury Hall creates some good chances, bro. You know what I'm saying? He even in the Conference League so far, he's been creating some good chances for us. He's a creative player and he can definitely do something in the final.
Hold on, he's a championship player. So what was he the year before that?
He was playing in the Prem, bruv.
What are these dickheads talking?
He played good in the Premier League.
Yo, why didn't y'all mothers drop y'all multiple times? Like, I know,
you know what I'm saying?
Everybody got dropped before.
Bait, bro.
I've dropped every one of my kids. Trust me, not on purpose. We've all been dropped. I wish you would drop multiple times.
Yeah, but Jimmy, the thing is, you're always going to get this. You're always going to get people that try to discredit everything. Because if you watch Dewsbury Hall and you watch Dewsbury Hall for a while, bro, you would know this guy puts up numbers. The guy just got 26 GA in the championship. People will try to tell me it's the championship. Go find me all other midfielders.
Optimus Prime's message.
What's he saying here?
No.
Chelsea, even though majority owners Clearlake have no intention selling their 61.5% stake, investors have approached Boehly past month, offering to provide the funds to buy out Clearlake. Boehly's a rich man, but to go buy these guys out, Clearly,
he can't do it by himself. Yeah, he cannot do it by himself.
No one person can buy a club the size of Chelsea.
Yeah. You can't buy them out for two. I think it's 2.5.
Even if he has like 10 billion in assets, he's not going to tie up all of his assets. He's not going to tie up half of his assets to buy a club.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it anyway. You wouldn't do that.
Does one person buy a club anymore?
If I can spend that money, why the fuck am I going to spend 9?
It's too expensive.
Way too expensive, bro. Way too expensive. And billionaires are always going to try to find a way to borrow.
That's what they do. That's how they stay rich. They spend other people's money.
Yeah, that's how they stay billionaires. You know what I mean? They don't spend their own money.
Yes,
how they stay billionaires.
You know what I'm saying? AJ, bro, listen. You obviously, look again. I touched up on the fact that Boehly. It sounds like Boehly's the one that wanted Poch to stay. I want to share a little bit of the article as well, so I can show you guys exactly what it was that they were saying. Yeah. Right. Let me just zoom into the bit where it speaks about Poch. Let me take this message off. Where is it? I just had it a second ago. Where is it, bruv? Okay, yeah, there we go. So it says it right here. Yeah. Okay, so the following Tuesday, it was announced that Poch and Chelsea had mutually decided to part ways after 6 hours of discussions over 2 days at Cobham with Winstanley, Stewart, and Eghbali. You know, they were sitting there, they were telling him, yo, why the fuck did you start two attackers against Forest both games? Why the fuck did you play Conor Gallagher at left wing? You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck were you playing Disasi at right back, please? Why were you playing Ben Chilwell at left wing, please? They were asking him all these things for 6 hours, yeah? Over 2 days at Cobham with Winstanley, Stewart, and Eghbali, while Boehly, he dialed in from the United States. So he wasn't even there, yeah? Winstanley and Stewart had flown out to see Boehly the week before his dinner with Poch. Because remember, he invited Poch for dinner before the last game of the season, bro. Yeah? With Poch to explain their thinking about making a coach change. He responded in supportive terms at that meeting, though his subsequent words and actions were construed very differently. Because if you remember, these were his words that he said, yeah? He said, the number one thing, you've got to be patient. Boehly said at the latter event, you are putting something together and expecting it to come together really quickly. But the reality is, anything really good takes a lot of time. It takes a little bit of time. Patience was always a thought for us. This is a young and exciting team that will be together for a long time. If you look at franchises that dominate for a long time, they have real stability in the team, front office and coaching staff. Yeah? What's your thoughts on that, AJ, about Boehly basically off wanting to give Poch more time, bro? Is that a red flag to you? Because for me, Poch had to go. He had to go, bro.
You see, my thing is, I agree that Poch had to go, but I agreed on that in January. You understand? But we stuck with him, and then we ended the season proper. You understand? We started seeing something. We saw something, you know, whatever we want to classify it, it was something, right? You know, Andrew, it was something. You know, you're like, okay, I see a little something. So
the results did mask the performances. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they did. I agree. And Cole Palmer pulled us through a lot of moments, but you know,
not just Palmer, just the results. The results just masked.
Thought of keeping stability. You know, Chelsea fans, we've been saying, oh, we need stability. We want to find a manager. You know, that's my thing with Chelsea fans is we just hop on the next saying. You understand? At that time, oh, I want to keep the manager for 5 years. Let's find this. And then now, oh, get him out. So just the thought of moving him, just keeping him is a valid thought. But if you analyze the situation, it probably made sense to get him out because, you know, we were bringing in technical players. The play style and the players was kind of clashing. So it was like, you know, it ended up making sense to move him on. So I'm not going to give it a red flag with Boehly because it's in the best interest of the team. That's how he's thinking, to keep the manager, let everybody stay stable. Let's keep it the same for the next year so we can build something. You understand? But he got overruled, obviously, and he's going to keep getting overruled. You know, he's always going to get overruled whilst he's the minority shareholder. That's just how it works.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And listen, just to finish up, man, I don't really know what's happening right now with this whole stadium talk. Andrew, do you know much about what's going on with the stadium and that, bruv? Because it seems like, you know, they've kind of
it seems like a rehash. Seems like a rehash from 2022 when we were linked to Earls Court. We've always been linked to Earls Court anyway. but it seems like a rehash from a 2022 report that came out that we were looking at that site as well. We've looked at that site for years. I think even under Roman, we looked at that site. We looked at Battersea Power Station. For that was, I think that was bought by either the company from Thailand or Malaysia or something like that. But the issue has always been, no matter if we find a site away from Stamford Bridge, is the Chelsea pitch owners. Problem.
Let me read this. Let me actually read this. This is coming directly from the Afflict. This is what they're saying about the stadium. Yeah. So on their arrival at Chelsea in 2022, Boehly and Clearlake signalled that they expected to communicate a stadium plan by the end of that calendar year. That self-imposed deadline was extended to the summer of 2023, then to sometime in 2024. More than 2 years into their ownership, the vital question of what to do with Stamford Bridge and potentially the tantalizing former Earls Court Exhibition Centre site less than a mile away still has no answer. Yeah. For the first year of their ownership, the project was being led by two of Boehly's trusted associates, Jonathan Goldstein, a London property developer, and fellow Chelsea board member, chief executive of investment firm Kane International, was front and center with Janet Marie Smith, executive vice president of planning and development for the Dodgers. Yeah, so these are people that Boehly actually knows from the Dodgers and whatnot, right? And Goldstein, it says here, personally handled the purchase of the 1.2 acre Sir Oswald Stowe mansion site. Because remember, we bought a little bit of land. Yeah, we bought a little bit of land there. But what's happened now? The problem here is wait, let me finish off reading this little bit here. So, but things changed in October with the appointment of Jason Gannon, former managing director of the state-of-the-art SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, here in LA. SoFi, yeah, in LA as Chelsea's chief operating officer. Gannon, who was promoted to club president and chief operating officer in Chelsea's latest reshuffle this month, has been tasked with leading the stadium project ever since his arrival. Several architects, including Populous, the firm responsible for the Tottenham Stadium, have been consulted to inform the club's deliberations. Gannon's role is not a source of tension. Boehly and Clearlake consider him as the right leader to formulate a stadium plan backed by a new management team. But the lack of progress on the project is cited as a factor in the relationship breakdown between owners. Yeah. So it looks like Boehly was bringing in the people initially, and now Clearlake have brought in their people who obviously done the Spurs Stadium, the SoFi Stadium as well. But I can't complain about those two stadiums because they're mad. If we're bringing in these sort of people to try to do the bridge, it is mad. But go on, Andrew. Go on, bro.
The thing is that obviously the Chelsea pitch owners thing is a different problem altogether. I just don't think you're only going to get a maximum of maybe 55,000 at Stamford Bridge. And I think these guys, I think both of them would want a bigger stadium because I don't just think they just want football at this new stadium. They want what Spurs have. Do you know what I mean? They want NFL. They want the boxing matches. They want the concerts. They want everything else that goes with these big stadiums now. And also want the match day revenue. Spurs earn, I think they earn the most on match day revenues in all of Europe. In terms of what they get. It's like over 2 million or something like that. It's more than Arsenal that used to have. But they want from
it's crazy, man. Their stadium's mad.
Yeah, they want a multi-purpose. They want a multi-purpose stadium. Do you know what I mean? They want all of that. They've seen it like that, and that's why I think Stamford. Sad to say it is, I don't think Stamford Bridge, where the site is, can do that. I just don't think it can. Like I say, I think we can only go to 55, not even like 60. Do you know what I mean? And we need 60 plus. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just the way it is. It's how the way the modern stadiums are now. Do you know? And if they've hired the ones or they've looked into the people that done the Spurs stadium. I mean, remember they did that in like 2 years. I think they built that in like 2 years. That stadium. It wasn't like it wasn't like the old Wembley that took like frigging 7 years to build the new one. It took Spurs stadium like 2 years to build. Because they went back there like during the season. They took. I think they spent a season and a half at Wembley, then went back to the whatever it's called now, White Hart Lane Extra, or whatever it's called. In 2019, and that's what I think they want to do. But again, the biggest battle for this stadium,
CPO,
is the pitch owners. It's the biggest battle.
That's the thing. That's the thing that I think needs to be given the most attention. Not only the CPO, but also, if you're a Chelsea pitch owner right now, are you in a position where you trust what the ownership is doing right now? Like, look at what's coming out right now. You know, whether it's Boehly or Eghbali. Like, are you going to now say, you know what, I'm going to sell my shares in the pitch owners for them to go develop somewhere else? You know what I mean? I don't. It's just not the right time.
Regardless,
it's just not the. You think so? You think the pitch owners
for Chelsea to operate?
I'm not even thinking about.
But it filters down to that, though. It filters down because for Chelsea to be successful, they have to build this big stadium, and they cannot build it where it's at. So,
having your cake
going to happen. We're just going to kick it down the road.
So it's one of two things.
Run around and say we're a big club, and I know high school football stadiums is bigger than our fucking.
It has nothing to do with whether or not I agree with you or not.
No, it's not even about you agreeing.
It's the circumstance.
Let's say we're talking to you as a Chelsea pitch owner. How could you say you're a big club and you play in a fucking cigarette box?
Yeah. I've been saying that since 2011.
It's 2024.
That's why we're saying it's going to happen eventually, Couch, because they have to move.
I mean,
plus we never. It holds Stamford Bridge now. Stamford Bridge holds 40.
Here's the thing that I don't understand. Because like it's not about whether or not it's going to happen. It's whether or not it can happen, right? Whether or not they can actually take Chelsea Football Club and move it somewhere else. Like, yes, they can move. They can move the team. They can move the team and then call it whatever, Battersea or friggin' Earl's Court
or something like that. Yeah.
Whatever, right? You can do that. And maybe that's where the tipping point is whether or not you want the name to live on. Yeah. But what I don't necessarily understand is whether or not, if I'm a Chelsea pitch owner right now, if this is the moment where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to sell my shares right now in this club because the ownership situation is a mess right now. Like, whether or not we want to acknowledge it or not, it's a fucking mess.
Hold on to them fucking
both sides of it.
Shares you bought that don't really fucking mean that little piece of fucking paper on your wall.
Would you say that those people are holding the team back as well?
Holding the fucking team back.
Of course they are.
Okay.
But it's
before you don't carry on. Cut off your nose despite your face.
Before you don't carry on, hold on. Big up your saying. We've got 208 people in the chat, yeah? And we haven't even touched 100 likes, bro. What are you not doing, bro?
Nah, man. What the hell?
What are you not doing, bro?
Disrespectful, yo. That's really disrespectful.
Do you want Jimmy to do another Ric Flair promo? That's what he will do, you know. Jimmy will do another Ric Flair promo to get you to hit the like button. You know what I mean? Let's do this. You know what I mean?
Make sure you don't smash the like, man. Let's get to 150 before the show ends, bro. And we're gonna finish off real soon.
Carry
on, bro.
42,000 people.
It doesn't even. We can't even fill it. We can't even fill it. It never goes to 42. Never goes to 42 on match days. It goes like 39, 40 maximum.
Think about that.
Not because not people won't turn out. They just deliberately don't for safety reasons. They don't fill it out. So, and that's the problem. We cannot compete. We cannot compete. That's why we have to keep selling all these frigging players, because on a match day we cannot compete. We cannot compete. This is the whole thing. You have to think if they could, because of the way where Stamford Bridge is situated, it's so the surroundings and they're near a railway track as well. It's just they cannot build any higher than 55,000. They cannot do it, and even that is not
digging
enough.
down. There was talk about digging down,
right? But I think they've. But even that, I don't think they can only just. It's just. You have to.
Aren't we in hell? Aren't we in hell?
We have to keep. We have to.
Don't dig too deep. It's a dead player.
We have to. We have to keep. We have to catch up. We have to catch up, right? We just have to catch up. What it is that whatever you think about Tottenham, that soulless toilet bowl because of that team that plays as rubbish. Do you know what I mean? We still have to. We have to have that type of stadium to compete. That's when you won't. That's when all these Cobbonistas won't get their knickers in a twist because we won't have to sell their favorite whoever.
A stadium big enough to fit at least like 5,000-7,000 foreign fans every week. That's gonna come and scream and cheer because they're only there for 1 week.
Exactly. It's a tour. Let's face it. It's a tourist attraction.
That's how you build atmosphere.
When the UK and England want to host England, Ireland, UK are going to host I think it's Euro 30. Stamford Bridge is not on the list of stadiums to host any games.
Hell no,
it's not. It's not on the list.
Keep Marino versus Cyprus inside Stamford Bridge.
Bro, we have we have a big name. Yeah, people need to remember. Yeah, people like Bobby, because the likes of Bobby hate talking about business when it comes to football. And they just want to talk about things that happen on the pitch. All the big names that you want, Bobby, you have to generate money, bro. Yeah, Chelsea are a big name. Yeah, we're a big brand, but the stadium doesn't show that, bro. I'll be honest. Yeah, I know the stadium's got a lot of history, and I like the stadium. I like tight pitches, you know, because like, listen, growing up, you got West Ham, you got these little tight.
Don, what we have here is called the projects, where the poor people live. What's some shit's called in London?
The hood. The projects.
What y'all call it? The name of the building's the flat. What do y'all call it again?
Council estates. Council estates. Yeah.
That's like having an estate with a brand new fucking Benz parked out in front. Yeah. That's Chelsea. That's Stamford Bridge. Y'all want us to bring all these big name players, but we live in the fucking projects. It's the projects. It's the projects, bro. Our stadium is a joke.
We live in the blocks, Jimmy. That's what we're living right now. We live in the block. And I love the bridge. I love the bridge. It's home. When I go there, man, this is my club.
You gotta progress.
People hate change. That's what it is, though. People hate change. If we need to move to get a bigger stadium and to bring in more money for the club and whatnot, do all these other things and stuff and modernize football a lot more, bro, I'm not against it, because if that brings more money into the club and we can buy better players, I'm all for it, bruv.
I would have been. I'm surprised that didn't. And I'm whatever. They kind of just did it a little bit dodgy at the time. But the time when Roman tried it, was it 2011 when Roman tried to buy the shares and they were looking at Battersea and they're looking at Earl's Court and all this shit. That was the moment to do it for sure. Like, I don't know how the CPO just fumbled like that. That made no sense to me, because like Roman has been there. He's shown that he's willing to make the investment and like to keep the club where it is. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to move the club at that point. Like the trust should have already been established at that point. This new ownership.
But the thing is that I think the stadium plans were underway, and then they just banned him from the country, didn't they? They took everything away.
Sunderland has a better stadium than us.
Remember that design?
Was in the Prem?
Remember that design?
That Sunderland was in the Prem.
See, look, let me share a little bit here.
Yo, that's Newcastle. Yo, and those stadiums are huge, bro.
Newcastle.
Let me read this out. It says it right here.
Beautiful stadiums.
It says it right here. So Chelsea's time in stadium purgatory since Abramovich paused his ambitious redevelopment project indefinitely in 2018 has cost them. Their 40,173 CR historic home is now only the 9th largest by capacity in the Prem, placing a relatively low ceiling on match day revenue, even with the unpopular decision to raise general admission season ticket prices for the first time in more than a decade this season. The club also did not have a front of shirt sponsor this season, further increasing the need to up prices. So, bro, we need to up and move eventually, bro. Everyone that hates change, we need to up and move. Yeah?
West Ham earn more than us on match days. West Ham earn more than us on match days. What are we doing here?
They don't know the building, so tell the CPO that.
West Ham, bro. West Ham own more than us.
Tell the CPO that.
You know what I mean? But we're definitely going to need something to bang on if we move stadium, yeah? Because the way we bang on that Matthew Harding, bro, it's crazy when it goes off in there. But listen, people, this has flown by, man. We've touched upon quite a lot. You know, we started reminiscing and giving each other PTSD about Pochettino again. You know, everything that's going on, this civil war.
About to manage USA.
Yeah, they're managing USA now. He's come over to your side. You guys realize you can't escape him. Yo, you and Jimmy can't escape him, man.
Hold on. Didn't you guys get touched last week too? 2-1?
I don't.
Oh, you don't care? Okay,
USA,
all right.
Bro. I'm done with that. That's my back.
Canada, baby. Canada.
Oh yeah, I didn't even watch
Jonathan David, baby.
Jimmy guys. The system is messed up in the USA. It will never be good.
Touched, man.
Really change it.
Nah, that is crazy. But listen, people, I think we're officially going to have this as a panel weekly, man, because the people love it. You know what I'm saying? The people love it. It always gets good feedback. But Andrew, listen, let them know where they can find you, my bro, man.
Yeah, follow me at the Winter Surfer. I'll probably be on Sarcasm City later, either Pro Clubs or we'll do the England game or something like that. Casually FC just reached 3K, so we're doing something with that soon. But more, or Carefree Lewis stuff, I'll tweet what I'm on or what I'm watching or something like that. But more importantly, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to what the other guys are doing as well. Yeah, and just like the video. If you just like the video, even if you disagree with us, you know what I mean? It just helps the algorithm.
Clubs with you guys one day, man.
I am, man.
Big up, man. And Jimmy, the man of the moment. Jimmy, you actually gave us some you gave us a, what do you call it, a gif. Your face is now a gif, bro. So anytime anytime anyone's talking crazy, hey, let them know where they can find you, man. You probably seen him. You probably seen this guy on No Context this week, but let them know where they can find you, bro.
Jimmy Spliff TV, man. Watch along. When is the game?
Saturday. So Saturday. So 8 p.m. our time, so it'll be 3 p.m. your time.
Saturday, 3 p.m. Watch along.
Like the 3 p.m. games for us.
We here for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jimmy the Spliff at Jimmy the Spliff on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? On Twitter.
Twitter people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? AJ,
he'll be throwing his hat at the camera if Bournemouth score on Saturday.
They got me on No Context all crazy. I threw my hat.
I should have saved that clip. That killed me, man. But AJ, let them know where they can find you, man. Big up.
Big up, Don. Big up the chat. Yeah, find me on TikTok, NYC Chelsea Blues, and you find me on here, Gem and Chelsea Fan TV.
Big up, man. And Couch, let them know where they can find you, bro. Love for turning up, man.
Yeah, every time. Couch Critic. It's here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I just try to keep it moving. I just do match reviews, so it's nothing crazy. And yeah, I guess Gem, when Gem does something, GNA TV every now and then. Get around. Like, what? Yeah.
We should be on there. For a preview. Yeah. Gem's on holiday. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing.
Is that what it is? That must live in the highlights, man. I tell you what.
Big yourself up for the donation every single time, man. And Bobby, it's love every time. I know Bobby hates these owners, but listen, let's keep it respectful in the chat, yeah. But Bobby, big yourself up every single time, man. But listen, people, until the next one, man. Up the Chels every single time, people. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Boehly.